pledge allegiance to the flag
in the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Excuse me. All right, formally call this meeting to order at 6 p.m. Ricky, can I get a roll call, please?
Michael Cashman,
Present.
Thomas Wood,
Here.
Martin Mannix,
Here.
Barbara Hebert,
Present.
James Compton,
Here.
Rick Collins, and Meg is here. but
Here.
she's-
Oh, she's here.
All right. Resolution 1756, approved minutes of the previous meeting.
Resolved that the minutes of February 2nd, 2017 be approved and the reading of the minutes be dispensed with.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Hebert. Is there a second?
Second.
Wood. Any discussion? Seeing none. Roll call.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Martin Mannix,
Yes.
Barbara Hebert,
Yes.
Mike Cashman.
Yes, resolution does carry. At this time, I'd like to open up for public comment. Is there any public comment before us? Again, giving the agenda, it may fluctuate before the minutes or after the minutes, but in general, that is a change. And for those folks that are at home, I just want to remind folks that we have built-in public comment to our board meetings. So whether it's a work session or a board meeting, there is a section for public comment. Okay, resolution 1757, the abstract.
Resolved that the abstract of auditor claims number 2B-17, 2722 to 2726 for $2,627.87. Abstract 2B-17, 139 to 269 for $402,802.70. And abstract 2B-17, 40 through 55 prepays in the amount of $3,316,759.74 be received as reviewed by the audit committee, and the supervisors hereby authorized to pay said abstract.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Wood. Is there a second?
Second.
Hebert. Is there any discussion? Seeing none. Roll call.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Mark Mannix,
Yes.
Barbara Hebert,
Yes.
Mike Cashman.
Yes, resolution does carry. Resolution 1758, monthly department reports.
Resolved to receive and place on file monthly department head report. Building and Ground Safety Committee, Highway Superintendent, Park and Recreation, Supervisor's Financial Report, Town Clerk, Codes and Zoning, and Water and Wastewater.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Mannix. Is there a second?
Second.
Hebert. Any discussion? Seeing none. Roll call.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Mark Mannix,
Yes.
Meg LaFave,
Yes.
Barb Hebert.
Yes.
Mike Cashman.
Yes. Resolution does carry. Resolution 1759, appointment of Elizabeth Duham to the Finance Committee.
As the town board passed resolution 14-183 authorizing the formation of the finance committee to improve accountability and controls over finances and accounts and to play an advisory role to the town supervisor, town board, and finance manager. Whereas Miss Elizabeth Duham, a resident of the town, who possesses skills and experience with finance and business ownership, is willing to serve as a member of the finance committee. Now therefore be resolved, the town board, Town of Plattsburgh, does hereby appoint Ms. Duham to the finance committee for a 2-year term to expire December 31st, 2018, effective immediately. And it be further resolved that Ms. Duham take the oath of office within 30 days of this resolution, and the supervisor send her a letter of appointment and appreciation to Ms. Duham. And it be further resolved that a certified copy of this resolution be given to Ms. Duham and the finance manager.
Is there a motion? LaFave. Is there a second?
Second.
Mannix. Any discussion?
That's a reappointment?
Yes.
It's a reappointment. Usually that's in it, but, okay.
We can add reappointment if you want, Tom.
No, it's not.
Any further discussion? Seeing none? Roll call.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Mark Mannix,
Yes.
Meg LaFave,
Yes.
Barb Hebert.
Yes.
Mike Cashman.
Yes, resolution does carry. Resolution 1760, 2 million gallon water tank.
Whereas the town of Plattsburgh is planning to construct a 2 million gallon water tank storage adjacent to the existing storage tank that is referred to as the Kimberly Lane Tank Farm. Whereas the assistance of engineering consultant LaBerge Group, Albany, New York, and the town has prepared a short environmental assessment form and supporting documentation for the project. Whereas in accordance with the provision of 6 NYCRR Part 617, the town board intends to serve as a lead agency for the seeker review on the unlisted action in its capacity, and it will define the purpose, action, the significant effect on the environment, will not have significant effect on the environment. Whereas the lead agency will undertake the coordination review of this action. Now therefore be resolved that the town board hereby designates its intention to serve as the lead agency for the seeker coordinating review of all unlisted actions, and will be circulating as a lead agency notice and supporting documents for all involved agencies. And it be further resolved that the aforementioned LaBerge Group shall prepare and send a lead agency notice on behalf of the town.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion, but I'd like, in making the motion, to point out that when Ricky read it, he read that,
The third paragraph, so you're referring to that?
excuse me, give me just a second now. Will determine that a proposed action will not have a significant effect on the environment, and that is not the language as it should have been. It should be, will determine if the proposed action will have a significant effect on the environment. I just think we need to be clear on that.
Okay,
Okay.
Okay.
is there a second?
Second.
Barb Hebert. Any further discussion? Seeing none? Roll call.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Mark Mannix,
Yes.
Meg LaFave,
Yes.
Barb Hebert.
Yes.
Mike Cash.
Yes, resolution does carry. Resolution 1761, purchase of two 2017 Ford F-750 dump trucks.
Whereas a request to replace a 1990 and 1994 dump truck that will go to the auction. Whereas bids have been received for a total of $156,439.40 for two 2017 F-750 dump trucks. Therefore be resolved, the town board approve the purchase as recommended, and that the highway superintendent is hereby authorized to make said purchase. And it be further resolved that the purchase of two 2017 Ford F-750 dump truck, cab dump truck, from Henderson Ford, 810 Ridge Road, Webster, New York, 14580, in the amount of $78,219.70 each be approved. And it be further resolved that payment be made payable from the 2017 Highway Superintendent's budget account, and that a copy of this resolution be given to the Highway Superintendent and the Finance Manager.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Hebert.
Second. Wood.
Any discussion?
These were in the budget originally, put in last year, and has the money, and the other bids, two of them came in quite a bit higher, and one was pretty close, but I think this is the best that we have here, in terms of where we're getting it.
And again, I've leaned on this a number of times. Jim and his crew do a remarkable job at maintaining equipment and really nurturing equipment, and doing all that they can with the resources that they're given. You can go out back pretty much on any given day and see them, caring for the equipment that's in their fleet, et cetera. So, when they make a big purchase, it's not taken light,
Right.
so.
And they try to, if they dispose of
Yep.
equipment or whatever, they try to do it timely.
Yep.
Maybe no cost.
All right, roll call.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Mark Mannix,
Yes.
Meg LaFave.
Yes.
Barb Hebert.
Yes.
Mike Cash.
Yes, resolution does carry. Resolution 1762, amend naming a new private right-of-way, Starfish Lane to Starfish Way.
We gonna get this, right?
Whereas resolution 17-52 was passed to name a private right-of-way to Starfish Lane. And whereas private right-of-ways need to be amended at the request of Clinton County Emergency Services to meet the guidelines. And whereas a new private right-of-way named Starfish Way must be approved by the town board. Now therefore be resolved, the town board hereby accepts the recommendation of James Woods, Highway Superintendent, in the naming of the new road Starfish Way. And it be further resolved that the Town of Plattsburgh Planning and Assessor's Office, Highway Superintendent, and Emergency Preparedness Office shall receive a certified copy of this resolution indicating the acceptance of the recommendation.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Wood, is there a second?
Second.
Mannix. And again, I just want to bring to light that we are working with Kelly Donahue over at Clinton County Office of Emergency Services. He provided some information, it was slightly wrong, I wanted to make sure that we captured it correctly from our side. You know, and he left it to whether or not we needed to do it, and I felt as though we should capture it this way, so.
And then you mentioned in the work session, Michael, for our viewers, that we're gonna be seeing more of these.
We anticipate that
Yeah.
there could be a handful of them
Yeah.
coming up, so, you know, they do their review and, from time to time, so I don't have a particular number, you know, in mind at the moment, so.
Would they come all at once, and could we do them in one resolution?
I think the way that they do their review depends on what's going on. And really Kelly works with Jim and Jim works with us, so, you know, we're one step removed slightly, so, if I think to, I'll ask Jim. Okay. Roll call.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Mark Mannix,
Yes.
Mike LaFave,
Yes.
Barb Hebert.
Yes.
Mike Cashel.
Yes, resolution carries. Resolution 1763, request to attend New York Planning Conference.
Whereas the Town of Plattsburgh Planning Department and Planning Board members are required to maintain professional training and development. And whereas it is in the best interest of the Town Planning Department to update technical knowledge and new regulations, information regarding comprehensive planning, complete streets, subdivision, site planning reviews. Now therefore be resolved that Trevor Cole, Michelle Buckminster of the Planning Department, as well as Planning Board members Jeff Wagner, Terry Besaw, Sandy Laterell, Tim Palmer, and Terry Senical, be allowed to attend the New York State Planning Federation Conference to be held March 27th to the 28th in Saratoga Springs, New York. And it be further resolved, $1,169 for lodging and meals, and $1,393 for registration be charged to the Planning Department budget account. And it be further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the Finance Manager and Planning Department head.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Wood, is there a second?
Seconded.
Hebert. Any discussion?
When Tom and I had our liaison meeting, it was last week, we had a chance, I think, when Trevor and Phil presenting their agenda, we asked for some information, more information, so we saw the agenda for this conference, and it's pretty good topics on there.
Yep.
And we looked at them both, so. I'll mention that.
Anything else?
No, where's the town remembers,
Used to go to New York.
so that means any individual is a member, right?
Used to be
In theory. Anything else?
5 people in the place.
Roll call.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Mark Mannix,
Yes.
Mike LaFave,
Yes.
Barb Hebert.
Yes.
Mike Cashel.
Resolution does carry. Just 1 second. Resolution 1764, Rick Rasco merit pay.
Whereas the Building and Grounds Department experienced an untimely death of the Superintendent of Building and Grounds. Whereas Mr. Rick Rascal has significant knowledge of the department, skills, willingness to lead the Building and Grounds team. And whereas the Town of Plattsburgh Supervisor acknowledges Mr. Rick Rasco as the current department head. Excuse me. Resolved that the Town of Plattsburgh Town Board does hereby authorize a merit stipend pay for Mr. Rasco of $2,500, and it be further resolved that a certified copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager and a copy be placed in his personnel file.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Wood. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion? I would just like to add that again, I've said this a number of times in a number of situations. We have been served very, very well by Rick stepping up, and I have been appreciative, very appreciative of him taking the time and energy to step into the very large shoes that Art left behind. He's doing it in his own way. We're reworking some models for that department, but on a daily basis, I'm just very appreciative of the way that he's stepping up, and so. I
And they
think-
highlighted just his willingness in not ever doing a report. I think you mentioned like a monthly report, trying to, for some, that may be an exercise that's done regularly, but for him, I think he stepped up to just make sure he did it,
Yeah,
and got some help, I think.
and he calls just to check in and let me know, let the committee know what he's up to and what's going on, and ask
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Right.
So, and again, as time continues to advance, we'll continue to stay on this topic for
Right.
Conversations in a wide variety of ways, but I appreciate the board considering this, so. Roll call.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Mike Manning,
Yes.
Mike LaFave,
Yes.
Barb Hebert.
Yes.
Mike Gash.
Yes, resolution does carry. Resolution 1765, appointment of Barbara Minor as an account clerk / typist in the water wastewater department.
Whereas there is a vacancy for the position of account clerk typist in the water and wastewater department. And whereas interviews for the aforementioned position were held by the director and supervisor of the water and wastewater department of eligible candidates provided by Clinton County Department of Personnel. Whereas upon the completion of interviews, it is recommendation of the Director of Water and Wastewater Committee that Barbara Minor be appointed to the vacant water and wastewater account clerk typist position. And furthermore, be resolved that the town board does hereby authorize the hiring and appointment of Barbara Minor to the vacant position of account clerk typist at a rate of pay of $18.75 per hour, effective upon release from her current employer. Following approval, and it be further resolved, the supervisor hereby authorized to sign all necessary documents for Barbara Minor's appointment to the position with a probationary period of 6 months. And it be further resolved that a certified copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager, the director of water and wastewater department, and one to be forwarded to Clinton County Department of Personnel.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
LaFave, is there a second?
Second.
Mannix, any discussion?
What's the background?
Margie and I got to meet Barbara today. She worked at Verizon for 13 years, I believe. She has a bachelor's degree in communications, and she recently, this past year, completed a business certificate at Clinton Community College. She has a lot of experience with payroll and just business in general. She was,
A lot of transferable skills.
Yes.
Is the 6 months probation period what we're doing now instead of a year?
We've been working towards the 6 months. Yep.
I'm still in favor of the year, just so you know.
Yeah, and again, I was gonna offer the comment, I think the board can certainly agree to disagree, but that was the only thing I was gonna mention, that is that I would like to see the probation be 12 months versus 6 months. But again, there are advantages and disadvantages. I just see that as a better opportunity for review. And
I did make the comment to Scott that they run the risk of setting a precedent that could come back to bite them. Because the next time he goes to hire somebody, they may not have as good a work record. And I think that's what led to his recommendation that it be a 6-month period. Additionally, he has an excellent track record as an employee. worked for Verizon for, I think it was
18,
15 years.
I think it was 13.
Anyways,
Might be right.
but, and she, you know, Verizon did away with the position, and they did away with the whole department here, and she got caught in that. And then she went back to school and got different education, so to equip herself to be able to move in a different direction. But all that aside, the next time he hires somebody, they may not have that track record, and he may want a 1-year probationary period. And if you get to the point where there is a problem with that individual, and you decide to, that you're not gonna make that appointment on a permanent basis, you could have a real issue come up, because how come this person had a 6-month appointment and I got a 12-month appointment? And that's what lawyers love, right, Jim?
Right.
But
There
I just think it is something that, maybe we should refer to our, labor,
Well, I mean, there has been some conversation among this board by itself. It's not Scott that approves the 6 months or 12 months, that's a board resolution. I personally will put myself out there to say, I think a 6-month period of time is adequate, in the sense that I think, as a former mentor of mine, Bill Laundrie used to say, you never know what you're gonna get until you get it. And anybody can meet the minimal standards to get through a probation period. And if they're that bad, then things will probably, come to the surface anyways. I think from an administrative standpoint, it's helpful having a shorter period to make sure that the department heads are making it a priority, that they're giving the oversight and supervision and training models for success. And, there may also be an opportunity for, you get to that 6-month period, that, it is with recommendation that that probation be examined for, extension, so, but you can put it,
It's quite understandable in that position, and when you have good oversight, like you're doing, and with the department heads that we have now, that's one thing. But it's been my experience in the past, when you didn't have quite the same caliber of department head, that sometimes it's a good idea to have the year, because that particular person doesn't follow up as much, and it needs to be found out by someone else.
well, that's
So,
already.
and my position is that we should change them all to the same, and it should be 12 months. So,
I think where I was coming from is that whenever you put someone on board and you hire them, I think we need to come at it in a constructive way by saying we want people to be successful. So the 12 months allows for documentation of success or lack of success, and to allow someone to keep improving. Because sometimes in the first 6 months, there could be some bumpy roads, and then you want to allow someone to continue to be able to demonstrate proficiency and competency. I have seen where 6 months, sometimes people will blossom just beautifully, but then after that, things change. So that's the philosophy I'm coming from, is
Nothing
more
against the-
constructive.
nothing as a particular individual.
No,
and I know that, and I would argue that we've done a lot of work with, staffing, et cetera, with, to try to get up on FMLA and a number of things, and part of it is, it's our responsibility to do documentation and supervision, so, right now, I'm not hearing a motion to amend.
Well, I'm
No.
gonna, I will
No,
move, I
just
will move
comments.
to amend this to 12 months, because I believe that that's what it should be for everyone. We shouldn't be doing one for 12 for some and some for 6 for another. And also, this is, the precedent is not a good precedent. It may be okay under the present administration, but another administration, it might not. So, as far as I'm concerned, so I'm amending, I'm proposing we amend this to 12 months probation period.
Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second that motion,
You said you did?
like for 12 months.
discussion?
I wish Scott was here. No, I'm really comfortable changing this without him in the car.
My big thing that I really would like to make sure that we do not do tonight is table this particular item.
I don't need that.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree.
So, you know, we've had a mixed bag, as they say, feeling a little Tom Mesner-y.
When I made the comment that I made it for the idea being that I think that we as a board need to revisit the issue. I did not make the comment aimed at having any impact on this particular resolution. So I will be voting not in favor of that amendment, that we go forward with the resolution.
And I won't be voting in favor of it either, just to be upfront. One of the things that I would personally be very open to is we are gonna have some more transitions moving forward. I think that if one or two counselors want to get together and do some research and make a, you know, proposal to what that looks like through some of the models, I think that would be a healthy thing to have, rather than doing it, you know, this particular process, Scott has been interacting with his liaisons and going through stuff. It's certainly not the only 6-month, you know, proposed or experience. So it's not out of the realm of, you know, what's been done. Is there any further conversation on the motion to amend it from 6 to 12? Is there any further conversation on the amendment from 6 to 12? Any further conversation on the amendment from 6 to 12? Seeing none, we'll take a roll call vote on the amendment.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Mark Mannix,
No?
Mike LeFave,
No.
Barb Hebert,
Yes.
Mike Cash.
No. Yeses were Barb and Tom.
So we're staying at 6 months.
Yes. Okay.
But we now have to have a vote on the motion.
I want to say one more thing about Barbara, is that she's been a coach as well for our basketball teams, so she's been involved with the town, and she handled business and government accounts at Verizon. She said that she was always impressed by the way the town handled their bills and paid their bills and was organized behind the scenes. She said that's rare.
Yeah. And again, it's not with the individual.
All right, the amendment failed. We are back to the original resolution. Is there any further conversation on the original resolution? Seeing none, roll call.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Mark Mannix,
Yes.
Mike LeFave,
Yes.
Barb Hebert,
Yes.
Mike Cash.
Yes, resolution does carry. And I can tell you right now that Scott will be very pleased about that, so thank you very much. Seeing no further business before us, is there any need to go into an executive session? I know of none. Seeing none before us, I would accept a motion to adjourn the meeting at 6:28. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Fave, or Hebert. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries, thank you. Nice timing, ladies.
I think you have
You could have come a little 5 minutes later, you probably would have had anything.
I think you have to come back again.
Probably. We had an issue
No,
with
it
the
was
car.
the
There
way
was
the
like an
bullet
inch
was
of
Yes,
ice on his windshield. We couldn't
Yes.
see.
Okay, I thought I grabbed something.
Oh, I thought you might say the roads are bad.
No.